Hello everyone and my channel. I'm thinking when I first heard about it, I thought this is obviously a game about a transformer and an accordion, and then the main characters just traveling the world playing old back with the deck of honky tonk songs for everybody they meet. Turns out it's not what that is. Instead, here in Primordial you are thrown into the massive shoes of Gregor and his quest to wealth up everything in his path. That belongs to the enemy. The game is currently on Steam on early access for $24.99. It is available on the Vibe and the Rift, but you know what they are asking for money. So let's see how it turned out. They always you will like the video, maybe subscribe. So here's my review for Primordial Sprinkler Swords. Unfortunately, hand placement and virtually warning enemies that attacking you is not a good idea. Graphics are out first and well started with a little COVID. OBS was not really loving this title and had some issues with signs when it comes to the recording, but not actually in the game. So if you see something here that did not actually occur for me, it was just in the recording. I have to say this, so it's really rare that a game has me sit back and say wow, and it seems like every other VR game there is some damn little issue that always drags away the moment of success, kicking and screaming into failure while, but for much of Primordial, it is easily one of the better looking, maybe even in some ways the best looking game on VR at this time, at least when it comes to the artistry itself. The first thing I have to mention is also the color work, the mixing and understanding of how deep reds and almost noxious looking greens will be contrasted over the top of the natural browns and the grey of the alien stonework of the landscape itself. It's just absolutely spot on here. Now we have seen this done in many games, especially yellows and greens, and when done incorrectly, in this case many times, let's say an ambition for glare reflecting and augmenting the lighting within areas, it can look almost old and curtainly a bit unattractive to the eye. But one thing you notice in Primordium is a judicious attempt at making sure that it is there but not over the top, and this is something that especially you will notice the level design itself and just the way everything works together. And speaking of level design, well, only exceptionally stand from the yellow follow this trail because it's right kind of gameplay. They handled their pacing incredibly well, and there is this intangibles where ambitious wildlife has steer Athens through the trees or you and taking your first footsteps into a cave with massive school above its entrance, and that atmosphere and that moderness is so prevalent. Also, you may end up finding some ancient device that looks like the designer of Tron Phrygian set himself on fire and left inside, and that mix of the natural and unnatural and the technological and the primitive coming together is done really well also up to that level. At least design wise, the enemies they are really interesting, and sure they do somewhat fault the predator stylings, even stealing the dreads. So this is the first time I saw laser dreads and I was like what, and then as I began to buy them and see more of them, I'm like those are actually pretty cool. And one of the ways in which you noticed this is the animation, which is very well done, both ranged and up close, and various beats can be chopped off the enemies and you can steal them fighting for the chance to bite a hole in you regardless of that. But I have to say, graphically the weapon stake, the cake, the default swords are shark swords that can be pounded into the ground to up your energy, looks like someone in Fallout said you know what. Let's see what happens when you mix a great white with the car bumper or the phenomenal design of the detailed acid gun, which in Primordium is the equivalent a young and some poor creature out of the earth still in its home and comfy wooden log, and then questionably touching it so it gets out bubbly acid onto enemies and you can watch him dissolve in real time. Obviously one part confused by the slow losing of their skin and the other part just fascinated by the quick weight loss and as you play Priority, and one of the things that I think comes up for a lot of us is that you really have to recognize some of the original Unreal, the original game, and its design elements, and they have sort of gone into the guns here as well, whether it be on purpose or subconsciously. It never looks like copying, it does not even look really like copying, there is just various little elements that you can see, and I really dug that now sadly one place the game does hurt itself is lack of collision detection on the enemies themselves. And you do get the moment when two of them seem to become one, sharing the same head and torso, but suddenly having 4 arms and 3 legs, or an impressive future. In Alien videos, one of the two I bet that was cleared up because design wise they are done really well.